Okay, I'm going to teach you how to get into SketchUp. So open up a new tab on your computer and just go into Google and type in SketchUp, free SketchUp on the web. All right, it's going to take you to this, and the one you're looking for is says SketchUp for Web Online 3D Modeling. So you'll click on that, and it's going to take you to here. So let's make sure everybody gets to that point. All right, so we are going to go down to where it says Start Modeling. We're going to click on Start Modeling, and it's going to take you to here. And you're going to go ahead, you don't need to type in an email here, you're just going to continue with Google. So click on Continue with Google, and you'll find your account, and you'll open up your account. And it might ask you a couple of things, but eventually, once you kind of work your way through those, it's going to get you into your program. And you're going to go ahead and click on Create New, and it's going to take you into something that looks like this. So when you get into this, go ahead and stop and wait for more instruction. Okay, so let's go over some basic moves in SketchUp. Just kind of seeing what we have around here. The first thing it says Untitled. Let's go ahead and change that. So click on the word Untitled. It's going to ask you to save it somewhere, and we're going to save it to your web kind of cloud folder, which is called SketchUp. So click that. And then down here, you're going to type the name, and we'll just call this Basic House. Just a simple Basic House. And hit Save here, and you'll see that the word Untitled has now become Basic House. All right, so on the left, we have various types of tools. And then over on the right, we have a variety of different sorts of menus that we can choose from. We're not going to use many of these right now, but let's just start with the mouse. So using your mouse, a 3-button mouse, you have the left button. That's going to be a select tool, so make sure yours is working. You should see a select line. If yours isn't, get another mouse. That's the left mouse. The right mouse gives you options, which there's really nothing because there's not much on the screen. The scroll wheel zooms, and it'll zoom at whatever you're pointing at. So if you point at this guy's feet, it'll zoom at his feet. If you point at his ukulele, it'll zoom into his ukulele, and so forth. And then if you push down on the scroll wheel, it will orbit. All right, it will orbit like this. If you're pushing down on the scroll wheel or in orbit mode, you're pushing down on it, and you hit the Shift key at the same time, it'll pan left, right, up, down. So make sure you can select, orbit, zoom, and pan. It's really important that you can do all of those things. Sometimes you're going to find that you get all like zoomed in and orbit around, and you just kind of get lost. And where am I? And so forth. So if you get all stuck and you can't like figure out where you are, the way to kind of get back home, it's not really obvious, but you'll try to remember it. It's Control Shift E. So if you do Control Shift E, it'll get you close to kind of where you are back home. I'm going to try to get to this view here. Do not delete this entity. It's important that you keep him. We're gonna use him in this design because he's going to provide a sense of scale. It's like a 6-foot entity, so we're going to use him to design a house that would be appropriate for someone who's 6 feet. So don't delete him. If for some reason you deleted him, there's an undo arrow here, and you can just undo until you get back. Alternatively, you can go back to home or go to new and just open up a brand new model and start over. But we do want to keep it. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of get him oriented right there. You'll notice that you have a blue axis, a green axis, and a red axis. And it's important to kind of keep track of those 3 axes. So, and then we have these tools here. So many of these tools, though, if you want to, you'll see like the line tool, the keyboard shortcut is letter L. The rectangle tool, the keyboard shortcut is R. So the first word in rectangle is R. Circle tool is C. Move tool is M. So you can use the tools here, or you can just use your keyboard shortcuts. So if I want to draw a line, I just hit L, and I'm on the pencil tool. If I want to draw a rectangle, I hit R, and I'm on the rectangle tool. If I want to draw a circle, I hit C, and I'm on the circle tool, right? If you want to get to the select tool, to get kind of off of one of these, you can either click on the select tool, or you can hit spacebar on your keyboard, and it'll automatically take you to that. We can undo or go forward or backwards with what we've done. And to get rid of things, you can either select them with your left mouse and then hit backspace, or you could use your eraser, which is letter E, and you can just kind of draw across everything you want to erase, and that will erase stuff as well. So there's a couple ways you can get rid of things. All right, so we're going to draw, first I want to draw a rectangle, and we're going to draw it on all three axes. So I'm going to draw a rectangle on the blue axis, and you'll see that it's blue, right? So it's going to be on the blue axis there, and it's blue. And then I can orbit around like that, and you'll see now I can draw one that's red. And then I can orbit around again, and I can draw one that's green. So you're going to have three rectangles, one on the blue axis, one on the red axis, and one on the green axis. So take a moment and see if you can do that. Now once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and turn these into three-dimensional objects. We're going to extrude them. So the way we extrude them is with this tool here called push-pull. It's the letter P. So you hit P for push-pull, and you can push-pull these things out. And any surface can be push-pulled. So you can put that one, click on that one and push-pull it, click on that one and push-pull it. You can pull these up, like that. You can pull this one across, like that. And then that becomes a separate space like that, right? So everything can be push-pulled. And now we're starting to get kind of a little thing here. Strange looking house. Okay. So just to kind of get you comfortable with that. All right. Now let's go ahead and delete that. Oh, actually, before we do, let's look inside. So you'll see if I hit my space bar to get off of this tool, and I select any of these surfaces and I hit backspace, you'll see it's hollow, and that's because SketchUp is for designing architectural modeling, and so you don't want to fill the insides of things with concrete, right? It's not like Tinkercad. It's not for 3D printing. So you want to have furniture and spaces inside your house so that they build with hollow. Again, you click on the surface, delete it, and you'll see it's hollow. All right. Let's go ahead and kind of zoom on out and select all this stuff. Don't select the guy, and delete it all. And let's kind of just make a basic house. So we're going to go ahead and draw out a rectangle. And we want it to be a good size for this guy. So we're going to draw a pretty good size rectangle like that. And then we are going to push-pull it up. So P for push-pull, and we'll push-pull it up and kind of give him a nice size house there, right? Cool. Okay. Now let's, this is kind of a flat roof, and we want to turn this into a pitched roof. So we're going to draw a line down the middle of this. So we'll go to our line tool, or letter L on your keyboard, and we're going to hover on this edge and until we get to it's blue, and it says midpoint. So you want to make sure you hover till you get to the midpoint, and then draw straight across until you get to the midpoint on the other side. Make sure you go midpoint to midpoint, and then back up. All right, so now we have a line right down the middle, and now we're going to move that, or sorry, we're going to push-pull that. So I'll hit the space bar or the select tool, okay? And we're going to select that line. It's going to turn dark blue. And kind of pivot a little bit so you can see it like that. And now we're going to use the move tool. And the move tool is letter M, or these 4 arrows. You just hit M on your keyboard. And then you can lift this up and we can pitch it, right? And if I want it to be really straight, it'll lock to straight when it's on the blue axis, right? So it's going to kind of lock to straight, which is what I want. And let's say on blue axis, right? So it's nice and straight, and I can click that, and that plays my pitch, something like that. Cool. All right. Now I'm going to use my line tool again, and I'm going to go from this endpoint straight across to that endpoint. So I have a line drawn there. And hit my space bar. And now I'm going to look for this tool here that's called the offset tool. And it's letter F on your keyboard. And what the offset tool does is that if you are on a surface like this triangle here, if you click on that edge, it's going to create that same shape, either offset in or offset out. And we're going to offset it in a little bit, just not like that. Not like that. That's how the offset tool works. Same thing can happen here. You can offset this if you want to, but I don't want to do that. So that's what's fine. All right, so this is offset. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to draw this line straight down until I get to that edge. And I'm going to go over on this end, and I'm going to do the same thing with my line tool straight down to hit that edge. And that gives me this kind of interesting shape here. And I'm going to push-pull that out. So I'm going to use my push-pull tool, which is that, or letter P on your keyboard. And I'm just going to push-pull that out a little bit to kind of create a little overhang roof. Like that. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Now let's put a couple of windows and a door on our house for our guy over here. So I want to put a door on it. So the door is going to be the shape of a rectangle. Now you don't want to start your door on the floor because, you know, a door has a little step, right, to get over it. So I'm going to come up off of that edge just a little bit. If you zoom in, you get a little more control over it. So I'm going to be up just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. That's about the right size for a door for this guy. Yeah. Something like that, maybe. Boom. Okay, so there's a door. And I want to offset this door because I want to frame around it. So I'm going to go to my offset tool, and I'm going to click on that door. Whoops. Try that again. So I'm going to select the door, and then I'm going to offset. And I'm going to create. That's enough. Try that again. I'm going to create my offset, and I'm going to create a little frame around this door. So I'm going to offset it outside just a little bit, like that. And now I'm going to use my space bar, and I'm going to click on this frame here, and I'm going to push-pull it out, letter P, and I'm just going to push-pull it out just to create a nice little door frame around my door. Cool. And if I want to see inside this door, I can click on the inside of that door and hit delete, and you'll see I can like actually kind of get inside my house a little bit. So let's see inside. It's kind of cool. Walk around inside your house. All right, so there's a door, and I want to put a couple of windows on this. So I'm going to, now what I want for the windows here is I want these windows to be straight with each other. So I want to draw like a chalk line across my house that I can erase later. It's going to help me keep my windows nice and straight with each other. So I'm going to draw a couple of chalk lines. The chalk line tool is, I might have to go down a little bit, and you're looking for this thing called a tape measure. So you might have to go down through your tools a little bit if you don't see it. Or you could click on these three dots and you might find it in those three dots. But you're looking for this one called tape measure or letter T. So click on that. And I'm going to go to my bottom edge, and it's going to tell me when I'm on it. It says on edge. I'm going to click and just move up, and I'm going to place the dotted line maybe right about there. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to place another dotted line maybe right about there. And now I can use those chalk lines for my window. So I can go to my rectangle tool, and I can click on that chalk line, and I can end on that chalk line, and I can make sure that these windows are nice straight lines with each other. They don't have to necessarily be the same size. You don't want one to be kind of above the other. It would just look a bit weird. So now I've got my windows nice and straight with each other, and I can go ahead and use my eraser here, the letter E, and I can erase those chalk lines. don't need anymore. Now I'm going to offset these windows. So I'm going to go select this window, and I'm going to go F or offset, and I'm going to offset that window a little bit to create a window frame. You can either go in or out. I'm going to go in. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to select this window. I'm going to hit F for offset, and I'm going to offset that one in. I'm going to try to eyeball it to make it look the same as the other. And then I'm just going to push-pull those out a little bit. So I'm going to push-pull this out a little bit. And space bar, select that. Push-pull that out a little bit with letter P. And there you go. Now I could delete these and so I'd see inside, but I want to do something different. I'm going to leave those kind of covered right now. And now let's go ahead and, I know there's other things we could do, but this is just kind of getting us started. So now I want to go into where it says materials. So we're going to go over to where it says materials, this little checkerboard box over here, and click on that. And we get a few different colors, like if I want to paint it orange, but that's not a lot of choices. It's kind of boring. So I want to have more than that. So I'm going to go here where it says browse. And now I have all these different materials that I could use. So maybe I want my house to have, or my roofing, I'm going to pick a roofing. So maybe I like this kind of shingled roof here, like that. So I'm going to put shingles on the roof. And then maybe for my the siding of my house, I'm going to put, I don't know, some wood siding or something. No, what do I want to do? Roofing, landscaping, patterns, tile. I guess anyway, I think there were some more choices on that scene here. Oh, brick, cladding, and siding. There it is. That's what I was looking for. So maybe I'll just put some wood siding on this, like that. I'll put some wood siding on my house here, a wooden house. And then, for the windows, I want some glass. So I'm going to look for glass and mirrors. And I can click on, some of these are transparent like that. If I click on that, it looks like glass, but you can still see through it, which is kind of neat. And then, maybe on the inside of my house, I want to put some carpet or something, or wood flooring. I'll put some wood flooring in there. So I'll put a little wood flooring inside my house. And then I just want to do a little bit of color somewhere else just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to find a few colors and maybe I don't know, maybe I like this light green here, and I'm going to put this kind of light trim around it, around my windows. Maybe a little dark trim around that one. And there, I have to do all these ones. You get the idea. Trim, wood trim. And, I have sort of a house, right? Yeah, cool. Maybe I'll put something garish and red under there. Just to make it kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Now, if I want to move this guy over to here, I can select the dude and I can move him. The move tool is that. One there, M. And I can just kind of move him to where I want to put him. And the move tool is a little awkward. You kind of have to go one direction at a time. So you'd move him from here to here, click, move him from here to here, click, move him from here to here, click, and so forth. So you can kind of move around a little bit. And when you're happy with where he is, you can hit the space bar, and there he is. And you will kind of walk into his house. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So I want you to make a house that's kind of like that, just to show me that you know the basics of what we're doing. Okay, so we have our house, and now we're going to turn this assignment in. So you're going to go into your Canvas, and you're going to look for the assignment that says SketchUp Basics Getting Started. You probably already are in this assignment. But anyway, the last slide down, the third slide down, it says insert your screenshot of your house design and answer these two questions. So you're going to take this one, you're going to delete mine, and you're going to copy paste a screenshot of your house here, so it won't say Howard on it because it's going to be yours. And then you're going to write what are your first impressions of the program, good or bad. What do you like about it? What helps make the program easy to use? And is there anything in this program that you find hard or difficult or frustrating? Kind of write that down there, and then just put your name and period down in the screen box and go ahead and submit that for 5 points. And you are done.